All right, it's another episode of the RSL Random Fan Podcast, the first episode of the 2025 regular season and CONCACAF Champions Cup. I'm your host, Brandt, joining you from quarantine, along with Tyler and Brennan. I guess they're both there. I can see them. I've been suffering through what everybody else has been having the last couple of days and was in a coma, I think, for a little bit. But yeah, it was terrible. But
You okay over there, Brent?
I don't know yet. But we're muddling through. So horrible intro over. But anyway, we're going to talk about today. We talk about the Champions Cup first Herediano game. Then we're going to talk about whatever that was in San Jose. Preview the Seattle game and give away our 2025 Grid City kit to a lucky winner. It's a beautiful kit. You got to see it in person. Yeah, random fan over there. Tyler has his. So thank you for joining us. So why don't we take just a few minutes? We're only at halftime, right? We haven't been in a competition like this for a while. It's halftime. It's 0-0. RSL and Herediano. Any quick thoughts on the first game?
Yeah, the only thing that I think is the big deal from that is that if they tie here and both teams score, they win the tiebreaker because they give up no goals at home, and they will have had a road goal. So that's the only downside to going there, tying, and coming back here. But I think we played well enough there to deserve a win, even though we didn't get it. We had a couple really good chances, and then, didn't give up a goal, which I'm excited about, even though they hit the crossbar at that one. That one scared me. I thought for sure that one was going in, but it hit the crossbar and bounced back. So, round one's over. We kind of knocked the season open with that, and I think we're good. I think we're good to. If I would have just seen that and not seen the San Jose game, I would have been really excited going into tomorrow night.
Did you have a chance to catch up with it, Brennan?
No, I was at work too much, but I got to hear about it at the end, so that was super fun.
Yeah. So yeah, it was it. I watched it. Somehow I watched it from a coma. That was the. No, I think I was driving. Anyway, never mind. Long story. So yeah, it was kind of a boring game. I don't think anybody was trying to stick their neck out, but there were a few opportunities, and I think they were happy with a 0-0 draw at halftime.
Well,
So
and I think it was interesting. A lot of people were like, "What? They had 18 shots and we had 7?" Yeah, but they took a lot of like half shots. And I say half shots because as soon as they got anywhere near within 30 yards, they were teeing it up and willing to shoot from distance. And it looks like our keeper is a good keeper from that distance.
In that game,
He's
yeah.
not in that game. He's not going to get beat from there, but maybe he'll get beat from closer. But the passes were 361 to 360. So if we're talking about passing, like it was pretty well balanced. Accuracy, they were slightly more accurate than us at 76%. We were 75. We both had 5 corners. We both had 5 crosses. Actually, they had 6. We were offsides once. You know what I mean? Like fouls were 18 to 18. Like it was a pretty even game.
yeah, it seemed like it was. It looked like the first game for RSL. I guess
Yeah,
Herediano's
we were sloppy.
played a few games, but it didn't look like either team were in any kind of form, and they didn't want to give up a big mistake, and they were both sides were probably content with a 0-0, 1-0 outcome or something.
And 18 fouls is a lot for both teams to have. So it was kind of a kicky game. Kick each
Yeah,
other. Oh, you're getting by me? I'll just kick you. And I thought we did that too much, honestly. Like we had coverage. There wasn't a need to kick them and foul them. And we did it anyway. Vera did it a couple times. I was like, ugh, don't just don't just give away fouls, man, for no reason. It's going to give them a chance to set up and then come at us. And maybe we're better on set pieces than they are, but still, don't just give away a foul because you don't want to run back, you know?
Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. We're games tomorrow night, Wednesday, February 26th, and we'll see how it all ends up. So,
Well, hold on. Can we talk about the starters? Because we had Brooke in that middle position, which is new, and Diogo out on the left. How did they fare in this game?
Yeah. I thought that was interesting too. Diogo was out wide instead of in the middle.
Hmm.
I kind of thought he should be out wide, but and then Brooke kind of slotted in underneath, and it's kind of that triangle-ish thing up front they're doing. And Mark Chuk was kind of not very effective, you know, and I thought he would have been better, but it just looked like he wasn't wanting to take people on. Like when he came here at the last year, he's always willing to take people on, and it
Right.
just seemed like he just didn't want to. And I didn't know if it was like, well, the pitch was you could see big divots all over the place. You could tell it wasn't a good pitch. You could tell the ball was bouncing weird. And so when that's the case, you usually play more defensive, right? You see that ball bouncing all funny, and you're like, yeah, I'm just gonna play more conservative, right? That's kind of the default, and I think both Markchuk and Gonsalves could have taken on players one on one a little bit more in that game, honestly.
yeah.
And then the big one was Kobe Henry. He's got a start and he stayed in the whole game. Was he pretty? Was he fair at least? Like because they were have some really high hopes for that guy.
Yeah, it said that there wasn't a yellow card on the summary on the Real page, but I thought he got a yellow card. In fact, I'm pretty sure he did, but anyway, it was either him or Ruiz. I thought for sure they got a yellow card, but maybe they didn't do it because it didn't show up in their report. But Kobe was aggressive. He was strong. He was. There were a couple times where it looked like he kind of got beat, and then he'd make up for it with speed, kind of a thing. And I think he's the speedster that we want back there. And I think, I mean, he partnered with Vera, and that was a pretty good partnership throughout the game. They were pretty tight, but Katranis kind of went down early, right? He
Oh,
got
that's
hit in the
right.
head and went down early, and so he subbed off pretty quick. And then Sam came on, Junqua,
Yeah, Junqua.
yeah. So he came on, and he didn't look like he wanted to take people on either, which kind of surprised me. I thought he'd be like, "Hey, I'm coming in. I want to make left back mine," kind of take advantage of the situation. But he kind of just played, I don't know, tentative on the offensive side. But that's just what I saw.
Yeah, I didn't get a lot of watching in. I was listening to it on my drive home, so I didn't get to spend a whole lot of focus on the game. Got to be safe. Um, but there was a big hit on Catranis, and also, if I remember right, I've read reports after that it was the CONCACAF doctor that took him out, not the team, right?
Oh, was
So,
it?
yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I didn't catch that
so
from
they
the
subbed him
broadcast.
out. So ultimately, yeah, I think everybody it was fine with the 0-0 draw. Probably would have expected just a little bit more, but
Yeah, in fact, we made two subs and we subbed out both of our like wingers. I know we put Wolf inside. Wolf kind of played outside and Diogo kind of slid inside a little bit more. Mark Zook came out and Gozo came in, and I kept like waiting for Gozo to do something cool, and just like the other guys, nothing really happened, and I was just like, why are wingers not taking people on? What is happening? And I kind of wanted Diego Luna in there, of course, and it didn't happen. But Wolf, I think, played well, and I think he's the only bright spot in the other game. But I think he played well in this game too. and he was just under control. You know what I mean? He's the guy you kick the ball to, and then you have a second or two to get into your position because he's not going to give the ball away cheaply. He's not going to, mess up or get the ball poked away from him. And I don't think he did in that game. I think he played a really stellar game, and that earned him the start the next week at San Jose. So.
All right, should we move on to that game?
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's talk about San Jose, huh?
All right, let's get the starting lineup. You want me to do it?
Go ahead.
All right, for RSL in the back, we had Rafael Cabral, and then from across the back line, Alex Catranis, Justin Glad, Philip Quinton, Javane Brown, Ojeda and Palacio in the middle, Luna Ruiz Wolf, and Ajago up top. So, and then Chicho was on the bench. No, wait, Chicho started the other team. It was crazy.
Oh, he started for
What a great joke.
San Jose?
That was
Yeah.
that was a good quarantine joke you just did there. That was
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah, thanks. It just came right to me.
Yeah, it's not written down at all, is it?
Through the fog.
I did see somewhere somebody posted and they said, you know what? We just got our new cult hero. When the teams came out of the locker room, Arango was going and like bro hugging everybody. The Jago walked right past him like he wasn't even there, dude. Didn't even care that he was there, dude. Walked right past him. Didn't even like look.
Well, he doesn't know him. I mean, he's
Right,
brand
that's
new to
what
the
I'm saying.
team.
It was great. It was great. Everybody else was like, "Hey, bro, what's up?" And he was just like,
Yeah, and it showed in the game. I mean,
Yeah,
he like smacked
and
him.
later in the game, they kind of got into it a little bit, and he's like, "Get out of here!" And like cross-armed him. And I think everybody that's mad at Chicho for leaving was kind of like, right? Like, we love this guy. Go get him. Go get him, Majago. Hit him again. Right?
One thing that's really great about the fact that we don't have Chicho anymore is the amount of time he is laying down on the field. I don't know if he has this like fetish for grass, but this guy, he is so on the ground all the time. Any sort of like faint interaction of any kind, somebody blew him a kiss, it'll knock him on his feet, off his feet. So it was really nice to see that he hasn't changed much in that regard. But we got to really think about what's the answer to where our offense is. Because I like our defense in this game, but offensively, it's not any, who could it be that's going to be our scorer? There's all these people that could step up. It doesn't look like there's opportunity for anybody to step up and score goals. It looks like we're literally waiting for somebody to be bought to score our goals. Like,
Yeah.
it should be that there's a designated person. The number 9 is going to score, whatever. But these wingers aren't really working. Luna had a couple opportunities, but it almost looks like training is not set on finishing. It's more about setting somebody up, and nobody's being set up.
Well, and a couple times I think Wolf played well. I think
brilliant.
Ruiz had his moments, and I
Yes.
think Luna was our best player.
Mm-hmm.
But none of them really combined well with the Jago. I didn't see a lot of interaction and combination. And Pablo said he wants his forward like all the way up there, but
To do what, though? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's hard to understand Pablo right now and what his tactics really are. Because
Just to
having that guy
occupy the center
isolated
backs.
up there, it's tough. I
Yeah.
mean, there was a couple of times where Ajago got man-to-man. He looked like he was really physical. We crossed in there. But if that's what we're going to do, I mean, we're going to be talking about what's next for every single podcast going forward.
Well, and
very
Jago's physical, but like Romney's physical. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Romney's better at that than he is.
And also, Jago is not the first choice. The first choice was Manuel or Piol. Manuel's, off somewhere else. He's still in Brazil. He's not coming here. And Piol has an injury, right? He's probably not going to
He got hit
start
in practice or something.
hamstring, I think. And he might not. I saw one report that was confirmed. Caleb Turner on Twitter had a thing on post on transfer market. He says, I don't know if these are accurate. It said um, um, peel out hamstring first of March end of March, and Trey said, yeah, can confirm. So I don't know. He's definitely out with an injury, but I don't know if it's till March. So you've
Yikes.
got your third
You bring in three
option,
strikers,
and yeah, you got the
and one
yeah.
stays in Brazil, and the other one comes from Australia, and he's excited to be here, but gets hurt. Now we're down to one.
So
So
yeah.
does that
So what?
mean
I'm not a huge fan of one striker up top, really.
No, I fully
But
agree with that. I mean, that it seems like an isolated thing that's if we get a goal out of it, it's because one of the backline guys messed up. Like it's not developed play. It's not, we're in transition, we're moving the ball side to side, we're sending the ball across. There's nothing like that. It looked like we have such good movement from the back to the midfield and then it gets lost. It's frustrating because we got a lot of talent. We have a
yeah,
lot of ability.
well, they had a lot of coaching experience because they had Bruce Arena and Dave Saracen, who's been Bruce's right-hand man for a long, long time. I think they're both 80. I think they're octogenarians,
Bruce is 74, I think.
you know.
He's 74. Holy cow,
And
man.
then they have Steve Ralston, who is like the all-time leader in games played. At least he was when he retired. He was like the all-time leader in
New
appearances
England.
in MLS. Yeah, played for New England for a long time. Yep, yep. So I mean, they have so much manager experience. I think Steve's older than Pablo. Yeah. So, and Pablo's our oldest guy. So,
All right. So we lose. Well, we RSL loses 4-0. Why don't we focus on all the negatives for a little bit, and then we come back to positives to set us up for what's coming up. Because there's so many negatives, right? And not to first off, first regular season of the game, heavily rotated. We talked about the starting lineup. There was quite 7 changes from the CCC game. So how far is it just kind of like a little flashing light, or are alarms going off in your heads?
so
Uh,
negatives first.
let's
What's
do
wrong?
the negatives so we can finish strong with some positives.
Okay, so they scored 4 goals. That's a
That's
huge negative.
Okay,
Huge
so
negative.
well, no,
thought
no, that's not just dwell on the negative. So like,
I
there's
don't want to dwell on the negative. I just want to get them out of our system here
no,
real
no, no,
quick.
it's okay. The fact is like it's kind of expected. We shouldn't be coming into this game assuming that we are going to just be we're gonna get this. We're gonna show it to Chicho and all this mumbo jumbo. You got Pablo Ruiz who's having his like legitimately second game ever coming back from being gone for a year and a half. That guy is gonna need time no matter what happens. You got strikers that are that are brand new to the whole club that aren't going to be able to get there. Um, we're still like in an identity crisis. I still think we don't have a solid game style. We don't have the understanding of what everybody's role is in each game, and then throwing in Palacio, who now opens up a whole new variety that we didn't even get last year. Like that's a huge one. I mean, he switches up the field so often that it really like you could tell like there was so many points where everything was stretched because they didn't they're not used to having a long ball being played and then being able to move. Like it's definitely we're still in the lab trying to figure out what we can come up with. So I don't think there's necessarily anything negative. I think the outcome was negative, but the understanding is that we're still in development, especially since we don't have all the pieces.
Yeah, and just we weren't sharp. Like if we were sharp, that cross that came across in the,
Oh, was it Tyler?
20, what's that?
Tyler Wolf, you're talking about that cross?
No, the one that Ricketts kicked in the 28th minute, you know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah.
So that their first goal. Like,
yeah, didn't Quentin go down in that one?
yeah, like Quentin kind of reacted late. He wasn't on top. He was like glancing and stole a glance, and then he looked back, and then he had to dive in. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
he
Yeah.
wasn't sharp.
that was
Petronis
Javane
wasn't sharp.
Brown.
What's that?
It was Javane Brown's guy.
And Javane Brown wasn't
Right.
sharp.
They
But
they
Quentin
were.
also lost his man in that same transition and was right in the middle, and he's supposed to pick up that cross.
If we want to be
Especially
negative,
when you're that long. You're 6'4". You should be able to block a
Hold
cross
on,
or two, you know?
hold on. My dad's gonna be negative real quick.
I'm,
Let
I
him
am,
be negative on
I got to get
Brown
it
here.
out. I don't
Yeah.
know how Javane Brown stays on the team. I
Um,
Just
thought
'cause he
I
closes
thought
off.
he was
Sound-
awful. He was
it's gonna
he
it's
was
gonna be very
absolutely
hard for him.
terrible.
Yeah, because they're wanting a possession style right back that can be able to move the ball upfield. And watching him possess the ball, Javane Brown doesn't feel too comfortable, and he looks very rushed.
Well,
He's
and
kind of got the Gavin Beavers stutter steps.
well, and also too, he's right there next to Pablo. I think maybe if he was a right back on the other side, it might have been more comfortable. But I think if you watch the game, man, Pablo is on him every time he's getting the ball. He's just kind of making him nervous. But yeah,
Yeah.
he really looked rough. I'm sure he's a great guy. We try not to tear people down, unless there's NDAs involved or something. Yeah, I really thought that was disappointing. That first goal, the second goal, I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to come off the fact that I don't think that we have top half of the league center back pairing.
Yeah,
I don't
that was
any
just a
player.
great corner. Like if you compare that corner from Espinosa to any corner we took all night, that was the best ball by a long shot. And Rodriguez is taller than everybody, so he
Yeah,
just
well,
had to go
why
like
ha-
this,
The point exactly.
right?
We've got two average center backs, and it looked
Oh,
like
not this again.
Yes,
Oh,
absolutely
my
this
gosh,
again.
I can't stand it when you talk like this.
Tallness,
Oh
Brandt.
my gosh,
Just
the center
tallness.
backs aren't that great. They've never
What
been
we
good since
need
Olave.
We
Well-
need the guy on our side to deliver that ball. That's what we
Well,
needed.
it
We
looked
missed
like-
it all night.
It
All
looked
night
like
we
Bruce Arena had done his homework because it looked like the exact same goal that we gave up against the Red Bull, where Justin Glad was actually hugging the striker for the Red Bull, and the guy still got it on his head because he's taller than Justin Glad. It looked
Well-
like the exact same goal,
Well,
and I'm telling you,
If you
that's
watch
my
the replay,
big
though,
concern.
if you
Yes.
watch the replay, if we're gonna really do this, I think Cabral's to blame. If that guy just stays standing up, doesn't jump, just stays standing up, he can react to that ball. He'll block it super easy. But he does the goalie, oh, I got to get off my feet because the ball's in front of me, and he's too short to block it. Because we need to just buy a really good goalie. I think our center backs are just fine. I think our goalie just sucks, That's
No,
what it is. We
I
need
don't
to
think
we
our
need to
goalie
spend
sucks.
way
Our
more money
goalie
on
doesn't
goalies.
suck.
Goalies and somebody to block.
Espinosa had a good game. He's a quality player that can put a ball on a dime, and he gives us crap every time.
And
we
who
play
gave
San
up the third goal?
So
I don't
third
remember
goal
The
was
long
at the
pass that went
83rd
over
minute.
ended
Justin
up going
Glad
right
didn't
over the
get there.
shorter Justin Glad.
Didn't
Oh,
cover.
yeah, that's unfortunate. But, I mean, if the midfield didn't lose possession, we'd be fine. So, I mean, where are we pointing fingers here?
Yeah. I'm granting you all that it's
Yep, and then
the
Ellie
first
didn't cover
game.
in time. I mean, like, it's always a team game. You can
Absolutely.
maybe point occasionally to one player making a mistake. Glad should have just ran back and let it go over his head and just play the player, but he thought he had it, and that happens once a year. So I'm glad he got it out of his system.
It's
So
happened
that's
frequently, a couple
Won't
of
happen
times.
again.
Well,
in the last couple
no.
years.
We haven't seen the end of the season yet, so knock it off. Little Debbie Downer over there. Jeez.
No,
But yeah,
I,
that one was super sad. I mean, and to give up 3 after we subbed 3 guys in, made
yeah.
me kind of mad. Like I'm like Junqua, Vera, and Gonzalez are all fresh, and they're not working their butts off, and they
I
should have been.
I
You
thought
know, they were
Junko came
fresh.
in. I thought he came in and did a decent job. He did a better job, obviously, um, than Brown did in the first half, and I thought he got into dangerous positions. And I thought there was a section there. The first goal, I think RSL rebounded nicely. They did have some pressure. Catranis had a stinger that was saved. That was a great shot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that free
So
kick. Yeah.
they had a few opportunities. Well, Luna had the early shot, third minute of the game match.
Luna missed 3 shots he should have just slotted home. 3.
Yeah, yeah. So
And
RSL
goals
had an
change
opportunity.
games. That's what Pablo
Yeah,
told me once.
they had an opportunity to change the game up to make it tie it up 1-1, and they did a good job until the 70th minute, right? And then they gave up. It was about the 70th minute when they gave up the second goal. And then it seemed like then they had a little bit of a response, but once that third goal went in, they just kind of
74th minute, we were kind of packing it in at that point, which is too bad. Which is too bad
Yeah,
because
but how impressive is Tyler Wolf though?
he
That
was the
guy,
highlight of the game.
that guy is working for a job right now. I mean, he's working overtime. I love his pace off the side and how quick his crosses are. That was something that was super unique. You don't see people trying to throw in those crosses real aggressive. But then also he did have that shot on goal that was super close. Like if he was able to one time that a little bit more far post, we would be a different score line. Still losing, but a different score line. And I
yeah,
think that was a crazy because I had zero expectation of that guy being able to do anything. I mean, that's
Yeah,
probably me not doing my
yeah,
homework.
no, for the price we paid to get him, I think he's the steal of the season so far, acquisition
yeah.
wise.
Yeah.
Uh,
So
I
what
mean,
about
Ajago was the preseason steal, but hopefully he can translate that into real games now, right? But
yeah?
we'll see.
What about the Menendez line?
Huh?
What about the Menendez line? We've been talking about that. Where is Diogo? Is he closer to Johnny Menendez, or after this first game, the last first couple games, or uh, is he headed over there to Javier Morales area, like we talked
I
about?
think he's right about a um
Luis Gil?
no. Yeah, maybe he's kind of Ned Grabavoy
Oh,
territory, you
I'm
know.
not a Ned Grabavoy fan. I don't think he's that close. I mean, he
No,
might be Nick Beasler.
he ha. It's hard to look at because a player like that you want on the ball. You want him going and getting the ball and demanding the ball, but Pablo wants his forward up the field. So it's kind of this like we're not getting the ball to the forward. Is that the forward's fault or is that the other guys not passing him the ball when they should be? But there was one play where the ball bounced and he was backing his defender up and the defender kind of wrapped him up a little and he just kind of stopped and was
I
like, I
remember.
hope they don't get the ball. And then 2 guys came over and got the ball, and he just kind of went, oh, I guess they got it. And it just didn't look like he had any fight in him. And I was like, come on, man.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna go the entire time that he was in the game without touching the ball.
Yeah, and
I
he subbed in the 68th minute.
68th, and I thought, oh my gosh! And then it wasn't until what was it, stoppage time,
Something
we
like
ended
that.
we ended up getting a couple of shots and
Yeah.
getting some touches in the box, and I'm just like, 20 minutes?
And by
It,
then, I was passed out on the floor because I was so sad. I was just like laying on the floor, like, why? Why does this have to happen?
I
My
was
wife's
I
like, come
was
on, it's the first game. Get over it.
I was heavily medicated, so I couldn't get off the couch. I had to watch it. It was
I was
terrible.
watching it, but it was like upside down because I was so sad.
I had a great time, man. I was enjoying it because then I was like, hey, more to talk about on the podcast.
Yeah,
You know,
we're here for
like
the
we can be
drama.
bantering all over the place. But I'm really struggling to understand the usage of Diogo because before I was thinking, okay, Diogo, he is incredibly talented. He's got so much skill. I mean, he's done really great for other clubs. Is it actually Diogo or is it our tactics for Diogo?
Yeah, is it his positioning? Does he need to be in that 10 role? Do we need to play him as a second striker? I mean,
I
like,
think
where do
so.
we?
I think RSL needs that second striker or something that is more set on only one option. Like we don't want only one option. We want something that's like, okay, this is our go-to guy, but this is our backup. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like there's no backup.
yeah, you don't want to go back to the Aaron Herrera crossing to Demir Krylock for the header, the only way we can score, right? We don't
Now,
want that. We don't want to be one-dimensional again.
if
That
I
was
if
only a
I
couple of
started
years ago.
if I started watching RSL during that era, I would not be an RSL fan. Like I am so glad that I started watching RSL when Beckerman was there and Javi came in. Like there's no way I would have been a fan.
Yeah.
I hate that style so much.
Well, and it's messy, it's difficult, and we don't even have the players for it. So do you adapt the style to the players or do the players need to fit the style? And if that's the case, like, shouldn't we have brought in players that match that style? And did we do that? And these are like the backups playing. Like, there's so many questions that we don't have answers for right now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and ours.
we need to talk to Tom Bogert more often. See who he talks to because he's got all the answers.
He has the answer for who's coming and going. He doesn't have the answers for what's going to work, though.
Yeah, he's monitoring the halls over there, man. That guy's
I know.
good.
What's up with that?
When RSL put out a little piece today about Diogo Gonzalez, and talking about the culture, the mentality, and the fans, and a little bit of a propaganda piece. There's so much Diogo appreciates about the club. So I'm sure he has the best of intentions, but yeah, I don't know what the answer is, but um, you should be able to see it, right? And I think that's Brennan made a good point. Tyler made it too. Is like, can you see him wanting to be there and wanting to try? I mean, with Chicho, you can see him over trying. You could see that there was some effort, but Diogo is just like, all right, well, pass me the ball and I'll kick it in or something. And he's not like, I don't see the dynamic designated player carry the team on the back.
Yeah, we're getting
I'm
more out of Luna that way than him.
Yeah, and it's kind of crazy if you think about like the past 2 years, 3 years with Pablo at the reins. It almost feels like his tactics haven't been able to bring out the best in the players that we bring in. Like Chicho. Chicho wasn't doing anything that was tactic based. Chicho was doing stuff like off of a set play, he just got open and he did something, or he hustled and got this. It wasn't we set him up and he just has an open goal or he had a great try. It was scrappy almost. It wasn't clean. And I think we need to start like assessing who we have and what the strengths are and like actually find something that works for what we have because it feels like we're trying to adapt to Pablo's way of doing things. Oh no, now I sound like I don't like Pablo. That's not good.
Uh-oh.
I,
Uh-oh.
I,
But
I like Pablo, but
no, I totally see what you're saying, Brennan. Like, Chicho created goals sometimes out of nothing. Like, there were
right.
a couple times on set pieces, he'd just all of a sudden do a loop to the back post, and his guy would set a screen, and he'd be open at the back post, and he'd score. And you're like, nobody puts those away consistently. Even if he gets that chance, he puts it away. And that, to me, is so valuable. Like, that's so hard to come by for our team.
well,
But
And we
we're
there's
got it.
also
But
You're
that's
also
not
no.
going to be successful, though. Like if you look at LA Galaxy, nobody's scrapping for goals. LAFC's not scrapping for goals. Like the
We have
teams
to.
that. Well, that's what I'm saying, though. The teams that are significant in the long run, in the grand scheme of things, that got their name on a plaque at the end of the year, those teams are not scrappy. Those teams have identity. They finish like they're just everything is in line for success, and it's catered to those players. And
they
I
don't have
think
to be, they don't have to have Messi and Suarez. I mean, you do like look at Columbus with Cucho, right? They
yeah,
have, it's
Kuchel's gone now.
yeah, he's gone. But the point is, you have a well put together team, right? You can either overspend, and sometimes overspending doesn't work. We'll see how it goes for some of the Cincinnati and the others. Atlanta, they both spent a lot of money. Um,
And
but
both got results.
or
yeah,
even
yeah.
Austin. I mean, Austin wasted so much money on Driussi and all of them. Like that did not
So
work out.
there's a lot that goes into it, but I agree with you though. You can't just be the scrappy underdogs. The bad news bears. There's that just isn't going to carry you for consistency if you want to be a club that's always near the top. So I I think the defense needs to be straightened out because it doesn't look like they've changed. I mean, they were leaking goals all second half of the season. I mean, they did well against a Costa Rican side. We'll see how they do again against a Costa Rican side. But if they're gonna leak goals and the team knows they can't score, they haven't figured out how to score. Just giving up one goal could really make things difficult.
Yeah, I really hope we get this victory on Wednesday for the CCC because in comes Seattle and they're playing well. So, I mean, we'll preview that in just a sec, but I really hope we put our best team on the field for Herediano. I think moving forward in the CCC is going to be huge for us. If we can build some momentum, LA Galaxy are a little down right now. They lost to expansion side San Diego at the weekend. So they're kind of down in the dumps. Now might be a good time to take them on. They're already passed into the next round, and we play if we win, them. So, or Herediano plays them if we can't score and we go to penalty kicks and lose again, right? Like I'm not putting that out there, but that's been our playoff results for the last couple of years. So
Yeah, before we get too far, I mean, if you look at the stats of the game, we had 21 shots, which I found surprising.
the
21
San Jose
shots
game.
against us in the San Jose game, 7 on goal. So
No, we had plenty of opportunities to score.
there
We
was
didn't.
opportunities. I mean,
Yeah.
we did have a lot of the possession, but that kind of changed.
There
It
were
was
three
it
or
was
four good saves from what's his name too.
their
He
keeper,
did have a
yeah.
couple good
And
saves. So
Cabral had a couple of good saves that kept us from making it a lot worse too. So,
yeah.
and the expected goals were about even, 2.6 to 2.5 for us. So,
Does that stat work this early in the season? Because doesn't it accumulate based on skill throughout the season?
No, it's just based on like the
no,
chance and the opportunity of like the percentage chance of people scoring in that situation kind of a thing.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, I hate that stat. It's a stupid stat.
well, it just kind of
But you know what?
shows.
I think in that game, the two players that I think deserve to start again this game are Tyler Wolf and Diego Luna. Those two guys were the two guys fighting the whole time they were going in, working hard, doing good work, holding the ball up well, playing possession, moving the ball around the field. I thought they both played well from wingers' standpoint. I don't think Wolf is the kind of guy that's going to slide inside, but maybe that's our best lineup is Markchuk, Wolf, and Luna, and we go with the kids. I don't know.
Oh,
We'll see.
one thing I wanted to talk about was Where's Ojeda? With Ruiz in, it's almost like it disrupts what Ojeda is doing.
A little bit, huh?
Yeah, I was so not happy with how little touches Ojeda got. It was almost like, oh, the big brother finally came back, and now you
Wants
got
the
to be
ball.
second. And
Yeah,
it's not it, man. I need to see Ojeda controlling things and Pablo being able to create something. I don't like
yeah,
possession with Pablo.
yeah. We need Paraguay and Brian on that ball.
Well, didn't they end up moving an Ellie back to right back as well?
Well, I mean, Anelli played the CCC game at center defensive mid, right at the pivot, and then he went to right back for Brown at halftime. He came in to cover. I guess Brown was bad, so
Yeah,
And
he's
then
getting beat up.
there was another sub that came in. Hidalgo came in and they pushed Anelli up back up into the midfield. I think
yeah,
later on. Yeah,
heavily rotated, you know. So I'm only
so
guessing we're gonna do the same thing again with champions CCC and then Seattle at the weekend. So not super excited about that.
so I like what Brennan was saying. Who'd you say across the middle? Do you put Diogo up top and say, all right,
Honestly, looking at a Jago and seeing that style of player where he's going to be big, he's going to be, trying to maneuver his body behind somebody or around, kind of like a Lukaku almost, but just not on steroids. Um, Seeing that kind of a play, it doesn't really fare for our movement with our wingers and our supposedly our link up guy. I would love to see Diogo be more creative in that striker position. With the expectation that he's not going to be physical, he's going to be a little bit more crafty to play the ball off of our what's it, number 10 and our wingers. But I don't know. I mean, I hate trying to say, "Oh, I would love it this way, this way, this way, this way," just to know that nothing like that's going to change because from right at the bat you're going to see a Jago or somebody like that up top. You're going to see some wingers, you're going to see somebody in that 10 position, and we're going to kind of struggle looking for opportunities over and over.
Well, I think Jago's the guy up top. I think he played that better than really anybody else. Here's the thing, guys. The other guys that we have on the roster right now that are listed as forward, if we sort the whole team by that, based on the site, are Axel Kai, Elias Manuel, who's not there. We know Axel Kai is not going to start. He's not going to be on the team. He's not there yet. Bell, who's out, right? Ijago, who's there doing his thing. Hazarkani, who is barely signed. We've signed him. He was our most recent signing with
he was a
the kids
drafty.
from the
What?
academy. Yep.
Oh yeah,
Barea, who was a kind of came out of nowhere. We didn't think he'd be on the first team, but he got a first team contract. We may see him just
Yeah,
because
we got
the
some,
only
we
other
got
one is
some
Pure,
preseason play.
and Pure is hurt. So we may end up seeing Barea.
he looked good in preseason in at least a half, and
And you guys
then
saw him at practice, right?
I saw him at practice, and man, he was crushing some shots from distance past keepers. It was thunderous. It was pretty impressive.
Maybe we
So
give the
yeah,
kid a shot, right?
yeah. So we'll see what they do um, on
He is
Wednesday.
from España,
España,
and his name is Jesus Barea.
From Barcelona. I don't know where he's
No,
from.
he's from Cadiz.
So we'll
Well, all in
see.
all, it's an exciting opportunity for
Cadiz.
Yeah, I think they
Herrera.
they absolutely have to go all in on tomorrow.
Well,
They
yeah.
got
When
to
are we
win
going
the
to get this
game.
opportunity again to play in the CONCACAF?
Well, with this lineup and what they got going on, it might be a while. They better work on staying in there because that's the other question too. After this, the game is if if you were rated on a scale of 1 to 100, where is your concern? 100 being I'm absolutely concerned, to 1 being no, there's no worries with the RSL club right now. After 2 games, I mean, it's incredibly early, but
Yeah. You quantify that after 2 games and
I'll go
one of them being in
63.7.
Costa Rica. Here's the thing: if we lose to a Costa Rican side, the only thing more embarrassing than that was if we lost to a Panamanian side in the CCC, right? Like that's the only team that would be more embarrassing to lose to. If you go
Yeah.
in and you lose to a Mexican side, you're like, nah, they're better than us. That's fine, right? There's no shame in that. But if you lose to a Costa Rican side, a Panamanian side, even an El Salvador or Honduran side, man, quit. Like the rest of the league's gonna look at you and be like, come on, man, step it up. What are you doing? So I think we just gotta not. We got to avoid that. We have to avoid losing to them, but we can't just have that be our mentality of, oh, we can't lose, it'll be embarrassing, right? We got to have the attitude that, hey, at home we're a different team. At altitude, we're going to make you run. We're going to beat you up and we're going to knock you over and we're going to kick some balls in your net and you're going to like it, kind of an attitude. And I think if we come out with that attitude of Big Brother taking over this series, I think we'll be fine. So I'm gonna wait to answer that question of where I'm worried until after that game.
Okay, and I don't know that it is really early, but those are the things that start clicking in the back of your head. Is like they start to add up. They could all go away with a good game against the Costa Herediano and a good first home match against Seattle. That all the worries could go away, but we shall see. Also, I think
Well,
Herediano. I think there's 4 main players that aren't going to make. There's some visa issues, and
Yeah, they're not allowed in the United States because they've committed crimes here in the past. No, I'm just kidding.
no,
Jokes, jokes,
no.
jokes,
What are you? Jeez, Tyler.
jokes, man, jokes, jokes, jokes.
Well, no, I think the real question is at what point does Pablo have to be worried? At what point does these outcomes affect what he is capable of doing or what others are going to think of what he's capable of doing? Because, I mean, this is his last year on the contract. A lot of people say there doesn't look like there's going to be any issues about him going with him again. But if we're seeing a loss like this at the beginning, is this just a mess up or is this like where things are headed? Do you know what I mean? Like when do we start saying, "Oh crap," versus, "Oh, we'll be fine"? Like
Well,
what is the cutoff for that?
if I was thinking about this, I think it's somewhere there's a huge congestion of games early on. There could be, right, if they
Mm-hmm.
continue winning and like 19 games in the first 2 months or something. I mean, there's just a crazy amount of games early on. But I think with what's transpired with Manuel and injuries and all the signings not coming in, people can say, hey, Pablo might be on the hot seat at some point in the season. Obviously, if you don't win any games, you're on the hot seat. But
Yeah.
also, when does Kurt Schmid go on the hot seat if we haven't brought in that second striker, and how much would that take off of Pablo's plate? And when you can just say, hey, what's Pablo supposed to do when the club isn't going to bring in that second DP? There was a rumor on this. I don't know if you guys saw this. A rumor that RSL is looking at a striker that they've been in talks with from Japan.
Well, we did trade for an international slot, so I thought there was a signing forthcoming, but then I haven't seen it, so I was like, was that for Berea?
So, no,
You
this
know?
is Cerezo Osaka, striker. Oh, that's where he plays for. Soto Kitano is on the radar of MLS side Real Salt Lake. This is from Mark Jack News. The 20-year-old is also being watched by League One side Leon. He started the season off very well in the J1 League, has contributed 2 goals and 1 assist, and I think he's got 6 goals all ever. And he's 20 years old. 20 years old, and he's 5'8". Yeah, can't wait. Yeah, bring that kid in.
Why would you, who cares about a tall striker? I don't care about a tall striker. We don't send balls in like
He's
that.
not that tall. He's set the record, tied the record. Like, come on, man.
It matters.
If we legitimately get a Japanese striker, I'm buying his jersey right off the bat.
Yeah,
that is so out of left field. Like the history of RSL in these past couple of years, it's like Colombia, like Ecuador, like wherever, Southern America, like
all
of
South
a sudden we're getting Japan. That's crazy.
Yeah,
I mean,
or Korea.
it's not
Vietnam.
sun.
Why not import them?
I don't care if he's 5'2". Like, if he can put the ball in the net, he's gonna put the ball in the net, and I want it on his feet. I don't want it in the air, because on his feet is gonna happen more often than in the air.
Yeah, Joel Plate scored with his head once. Remember that?
Yeah, because we've had such great. Yeah, I don't know. It just drives me crazy. I'm tired of diminutive strikers. Bring in some players with impact.
Yeah, Peter Crouch wannabes. That's what we need.
Isn't Lukaku available? He was at Roma last I saw. Lukaku, bring him in.
Lukaku's available every week, man. That guy's got the most unluckiest strain of like success, not success. I mean, man.
Yeah, he'll go on a tear in MLS and he'll pull a Chicho. We'll get 17 goals out of him, and then he'll go the rest of the year. It'll be great.
So we'll see what.
I just want it forever, man. I just want somebody that's like a 5-6 year player. Like I want not a Javi, but like something close to that. Like where we're gonna keep him for a while.
Hey, Lukaku's only 31.
That makes me feel great.
We can get him for 3 or 4 years. He's not gonna run by anybody, but he'll definitely post up and be a beast.
If Lukaku joins the league, like that's gonna be so many goals.
I know.
It's cheating. Awesome. That's what I'm so worried about Ivan Toney.
Oh,
I'm so scared of him. He's probably gonna make this league look stupid.
Who's bringing in Ivan Toney? He's over there making boatloads of money in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, he's making oil money.
Saudi Arabia? Oh no.
He went to oil money. He sold out.
No, I'm thinking of somebody else. Who did we? Oh, I'm gonna look that up. Sorry.
Yeah, Ivan Toney. I bet he's not coming here. That was a good joke. He got suspended for betting. Remember that? Even though they can wear betting sites on their jersey, don't bet. Anyway, so
I mean, DC United brought in their big guy, right?
Benteke?
He scored at the end, yeah. Right?
And then we could look at the MLS power rankings for week 1, which mean absolutely nothing, but up top they've got FC Cincinnati.
Did they really do a week 1 power ranking?
Yeah. FC Cincinnati 1,
what?
LAFC 2, Inter Miami 3. Did you see Inter Miami and get that late goal to tie? They ended up getting a red card and they were down a man. And then Messi was mean to the ref after the game. Come on, have some class. Some class. Be nice to the ref. But they were not happy. But where do you think RSL's landed?
Last?
Oh, very good. No, 29.
Who was worse than us?
Sporting Kansas City.
Oh.
Still looking for the first goal in both MLS and CONCACAF, although they ended up, they were playing LAFC tonight.
Yeah, and they lost to Austin. So, but we lost to San Jose by 4, so I don't know how you can be worse than that after one game. Anyway.
Oh, excuse me, Kansas City was knocked out of CONCACAF tonight by Miami 3-1.
Oh, is that one final though?
Yeah, and LAFC is beating Colorado 1-0.
Oh, sorry, I meant Zaha, Wilfred Zaha.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
yeah. He played in the game, right? Did he score? He didn't, because uh,
From Charlotte, right?
Malata got the first one, and then they Seattle in the so okay. So this game went kind of funny, and we care because we're playing Seattle on Saturday, right?
and
So Jordan,
Seattle plays tomorrow night, Wednesday night as well in
thanks for the
CONCACAF
insight.
against Antigua.
Thanks for asking me to say that. So the
You're
Seattle game,
welcome.
Jordan Morris
I'm glad
jumps in
I
and
won't.
goes
I'll try not to
1
interrupt
up
you.
0. All right, Brandt's gonna do the rest of the podcast by himself.
No, you go.
I tried. I'm done.
I'm just teasing. I was just teasing you. Go, Tyler. Please go, Tyler.
So Morris scores in the 19th minute, and then he scores again in the 49th minute. And Rusnak had a great assist. It made me think of the times when we used to like that guy. Anyway, then anyway, there was a lot of scoring, 2-1, and then the whole second half, nothing happened. And then Charlotte was kind of pushing. They subbed in 3 guys, 4 guys, made their subs, went after it. And right at the end, in the 90+3, Yamar, their center back, right? He he goes, the cross comes in, nobody's near him, no one, and he just pokes it past his own keeper and into the goal, like just own goals it for fun, and then lays on the grass like, ah, crap, I can't believe I did that. So Seattle tied. They should have won, but they tied.
Oh, and we talked about Houston. They lost. Who did they lose? Lost to Dallas. And who got the winning goal?
Anderson, Julio.
Yeah.
Good for him, man.
Yeah, good for Ando. I hope he finds his way there.
Yeah, I hope he has some success. I mean, that's a good guy, and he's
Yeah.
got some good talent. I just hope he stays healthy.
Yeah.
He's a
And
hamstring
People
guy.
tend to love him, The kids really love him too.
Vancouver stomped on Portland 4-1. That's nice. And then surprising San Diego, who looks like they might be good. Well, they got Lucho Gonzalez over there. So could be interesting. Could be another well put together expansion club. So, anything else we want to talk about? So, both clubs, the reason I was giving you a hard time about Seattle playing Antigua means that they will probably, I think they're up 1-0 is all on Antigua. Is that right? I don't think.
I don't bring up stats I don't know.
Well, okay, 3-1. Seattle won the first game 3-1. I was looking at the wrong thing. So they've got a 2-goal advantage at home. They'll be in Seattle. Will they rotate?
Are
Or
those
will-
bifocals? Is that what's taking so long for you to read? Are those bifocals that you're wearing?
Yeah.
Look up for me a little bit. Look up for me a little bit.
We'll see. Oh, here. How's that better? Is that better? Is
The
that
Old
better?
Man Podcast. Oh
He's
boy.
like- There you go.
Next time, just loop your headphones.
I
Do
think
that.
they were up.
I got them hanging down here. Oh wait,
Yeah.
let's see. Oh, so so Seattle is 3-1. Will they? Does that mean they don't have to rotate as heavily, so they'll have a stronger side coming in against Real Salt Lake?
Yeah,
Or
but
do you
they're
think?
they're playing the same night we are. They're not playing ahead of us, right? They're playing on Wednesday night too. So
Well, they're 2 hours behind us, but yeah, the same night. So they've got the 2-goal lead. They'll be at home. Do you think they'd be a little less likely to?
did you say Seattle's 2 hours behind us? What time are they on?
What-
Aleutian time?
Was it the
Hawaiian
game?
time?
An hour
Aren't they
behind us.
just on
Well, the game's 2 hours
Pacific
later.
time? Oh, so our game starts at 6:30?
Yeah, well, that's good to know.
Does it?
That's what it says. 6:30,
6:30?
and Seattle is at 8:30.
So they can broadcast them both probably
Yeah.
on the FS2. For those of you that can't attend in stadium, you get the VIX and the FS2.
Well, hey, how them Crawley people doing? Those
I'm sorry,
those
my
Crawley guys. How they
my
doing?
microphone's not working. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, it's the Come On Crawley update,
Come
sponsored by
on,
Tyler.
Crawley, let's
We don't care about
go.
Crawley, so we're not doing it. Ah!
And this tone is gonna be, come on, Crawley.
Oh man.
Boat agate.
Well, I have to say that I did not watch the game on Saturday because
You were sick.
I was sick. I
You
was
can't
sick.
watch things when you're sick. You gotta lay down with your eyes closed and cough.
Don't worry, Brent.
And it
They
was
did
even worse
turn
than that.
around when you
It
were
was-
taking a nap. So
It was even worse than that. They went up to Blackpool, lovely place, and they were down. Well, I
Two?
think they tied it up. No, they were down 2-1 at halftime, and then they got a red card in the 32nd minute for Blackpool. So Crawleytown was up a man for nearly an hour and still lost 3-1. Just by all accounts, I followed along with all the fans, and there was pitchforks. So it's lots of pitchforks, and the hope is fading. We've still got 14 games, and there's still time, but we are sitting in the relegation zone, 29 points. Only 3 teams haven't broke 30 yet, and we just happen to be one of them. And we have one game in hand that doesn't get us would get us caught up with Burton in the last relegation spot. So, yeah, it's going to be it's going to be hard. But we've
we
got
the pitchforks out, but do
yeah.
they have the torches ready yet?
Someone's getting burned. Yep.
Okay.
But they got 29 points. They're only 9 points out of 15th, right? So 9 points is a lot, but when you start to play teams that are around you, those 6-point games are huge. So there's still hope. No, the light hasn't gone out on the season. But yeah, it was frustrating. It was very frustrating.
Well, that's tough, man. I'm sorry to hear that. It's unfortunate.
We did pick up a new player, Louis Watson, who's had some Premier League experience in the past. So, but he wasn't playing all season, but he's supposed to be fit. He was an option in the game last week, and they picked up a Canadian national who's played on, I think, the Canadian national team a couple weeks ago. So, but they didn't pick up a striker, which they kind of look like RSL right now. They can dribble between the 18s, but they can't figure out how to score goals. They started putting in a few more goals recently, but they have been leaking goals. And if you're not going to score goals, you can't give up goals. So it's, let's just say it didn't make me feel any better. I told them I was sick, and that's what they did. Come on.
Yeah.
So sad, sad, sad.
Well, that's cool. All right.
Yeah.
Is it bedtime? Or what's going on?
Oh, it's past my bedtime.
Yep. I mean, Arsenal played West Ham. They gave up an early goal. They got a red card. And then they still pushed for a win, which I really loved. I wish Real would play like that. I don't care if we're down a man. We need a result. Let's go for it. I don't care if our guys have to work extra hard. Let's still go for it. I love that. I didn't love the result. They had a bunch of tries and no goals, but I kind of loved the fact that Arteta was like, so what? We're down a man. Get him. Get him. I love it. I love that mentality. So, I don't know. I didn't love that we, slid further out of the title race and still solid in second, but it's all right. I think they're setting it up to do it someday.
Someday our prince will come. And
Yeah, I
Manchester
guess.
United, they are
Depressing. Lack of love. I don't know. It's one of those
well.
where you're kind of just in this weird zone of like a loss. Yeah, it doesn't really affect me. It's kind of like, a win. It doesn't really affect me either. Win or lose, it's kind of just the same.
It's now no lunch for you, right? Now all you get is soup and a sandwich because we suck so bad. Did you see that?
Yeah, yeah. You can't. They're not going to pay for food anymore. I mean, how
You
stupid is that?
no get a free lunch.
What's that?
Oh, they're financially reconfiguring a bunch of stuff because they're out of money because they made stupid decisions, and they just said that they're not paying for lunches anymore.
I guess
For
if
the
you work there,
team?
you got free lunch.
Yeah, you got free lunch from the owners, or not the owners,
Oh,
the club.
so it wasn't the team that they're not paying for, it's the
The
staff.
first team, the first team still gets lunch.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it's funny because, like, there was another story about how when they went to somewhere here in the States, they went to something, and they were told not to show them the Buccaneers facility because it would make them feel like be like, wow, we're not on your priority list because it's like a $1 billion facility, like
I
top of the
saw
art.
that.
Yeah,
The
Yeah.
Glazers,
The
the
Glazers
Glazers
on a
won't.
roll. Yeah.
Yeah, and they won't take
yeah,
him to Tampa Bay.
and that's what's the problem with the owners.
So they're in
Uh,
15th. They only
Yeah,
have Manchester United only has one more point than Crawley. I mean, what? Why? I shouldn't be worried, right?
I
yeah, it's
mean,
just a
I'm
big
20.
boy league, though. You know what I mean? Big boys.
And Ipswich, Leicester, and Southampton are trying to break the record of the last three clubs that went up last year and back down. When only the three of them only had 66 points, and they're on track for like 63 between the three of them.
Oh wow.
Yikes. Yeah,
So
Wolves kind of want to go down too, but they're just hanging out there so West Ham and Man United feel safe.
Thank you.
when David Moyes, good job, David. I love David Moyes. Wait, he's turning Everton around.
Yeah, what
Um,
is he, 90? 95?
he's not that old. He's probably
No?
my age, really.
62.
72?
93. So we got something we want to give away, don't we? Do we?
Oh yeah, we want to get a jersey.
Let's give away a jersey. We've got the Grid City jersey. We were going to get away earlier, but because of the guy that was in charge of it, was sick and feeble, we've kind of put it off. So our apologies, but we will do. I will. I got the numbers listed out, and I got a randomizer right here. I'll tell you the number that pops up when I hit the number, and it's 22. And that doesn't mean anything to anybody unless you're Dog Scrog.
Who?
Dog Scrog. At Dog Scrog, he was one of the entered on Twitter. We will reach out to at Dog Scrog. I
And
just
it's
put
a large jersey, so if you're a large, great. If not, you can take it into the store and, get your size. This is an
wheel and
extra
deal.
large, so yeah.
How much did you actually spend the money to get that custom for a random fan?
Yeah.
Let me see it again. Can I see the back of it?
I did notice the numbers and the lettering are the darker blue, so they match this part. They don't necessarily match. Like, I don't know if you saw it, but you can't see it on me because I'm too brick shaped. But
You're kind of a
there's
big guy.
supposed to be this part that makes it come in and look a little
Little
sexier.
slimming.
It's supposed to, but it doesn't work on me because I'm chunkier. But on the back, it does it too, right? You got these little slots right here, if you can see it on there. But if you're just listening, that probably felt really awkward, so I apologize. But yeah, no, that's across the league. And if you look at some of we didn't do our full preview of all of the jerseys, But I did kind of want to get your take real quick before we sign off about the worst jersey you saw and the best jersey you've seen so far. Because I really like what Real did because they kind of did that slimming thing on all the jerseys. And on some of them, I think it looks ridiculous. But on a couple of them, I think it looks kind of cool. My daughter Millie said her favorite's LAFC because the gold on white. She likes that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. And then I thought DC United's looked pretty good, but I mean, you know, there's some rough ones out there this year.
Yeah, I think I took a screenshot so we could have this conversation. I thought there was the uh, the dirty ones. I'm not a fan
Yeah.
of.
Yeah, Colorado and actually Red Bull, I think were kind of tight. I kind of like the Red Bull version of that better than the other ones. The Colorado one just looks like you slid it on your chest, and then got your jersey dirty. And that's it. All right, you did it. Good job. So
Let's see. I think where'd they
Oh,
go?
I saw the Columbus one. I sent you the Columbus one. Did you see that one?
oh yeah, it's called the Goosebumps or whatever.
Is that the
Yeah,
one
the
that
Goosebumps
glows?
Yeah,
it
it
glows
looks
in the
like it
dark.
glows. Yeah.
That one I
Does it
thought was
really glow in the
really
dark?
sweet. Yeah, it does.
Really? That's even better. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's my other daughter liked that one the best.
Goosebumps kit, and it looks pretty
Yeah.
clean. It looks like the one that you would always get on FIFA as like a spare kit, like a
Yeah.
third kit for
Well,
fun.
I was a fan of Charlotte comes to mind. I like the black. I thought it's clean for Charlotte.
And plus, if you're their sponsor, you're stoked because your sponsor is this big on there. It's like Ally Bank, right? But
Yeah,
it's like huge. It's like a massive. Yeah. If I was their sponsor, I'd pay extra for that.
when did Aaron Herrera go to DC United?
Yeah. Did you see him give up that goal this week? That was ugly.
No.
Well,
And
It
that's
was
then
a
there was
cross, and he just flicked it out like he's done a couple times with us, and
I
tapped it
liked
right in.
the DC United one.
It's clean.
I liked the clean. I wasn't a fan of the Red Bull. And
I like them.
surprisingly, there was two I liked. I liked New England's,
Yeah.
the trees, and then I'll say it, Portland. I think if you look at their kit, it's pretty cool because the design, if you look, it's swirls, but they're tree rings.
Tree rings. Hold on, let me pull up Portland. Where's Portland?
Is it supposed to be tree rings?
Yeah,
Like a tree ring circus?
maybe.
I see what you did there.
I liked Seattle's new kit. Seattle always has good kits, except their last one with the stupid striped colors. Hated that one. But their new dark one, that's tight. That's really good.
And the Miami's black one is nice.
Yeah, but they got a new pink one this year. That was last year's.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm
Their
looking at
pink
the one
one's
with.
like light pink and dark pink stripes.
Oh,
Which
yeah,
is
they're
almost as bad
together.
as St. Louis. Theirs is bad. It's all just pink. It's the same thing.
And then somebody had a Victoria's Secrets bag next to the new Miami kit and says, "Now I can't unsee it." They get the
Sounds
Miami.
right.
So I thought last year overall, I thought last year's kits were a little stronger, don't you? But there's some good ones.
Yeah.
And I thought, I was watching the highlights, a few seconds of the highlights, LA Galaxy and San Diego, and I thought San Diego's kit looked nice.
Yeah, it's clean. And they got that silver kind of glowish, chromy, whatever look to them.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I like it. Yeah. Yeah, Orlando was just, pretty plain. Um, you know, Kansas City always has horrible unis. Who else?
Toronto's is pretty boring.
Toronto's is boring. Vancouver's is boring.
Yeah, it seems like next year there's probably going to be bigger, like more out there kind of stuff.
Austin's is, they got that green on green look. It's kind of tight. Houston's is just stupid orange. I don't know how you could even make that your color.
That's gonna be so hard to be like a fan of Houston to wear their kits and like what do you
Yeah,
wear with it? You know what I
right.
mean? Like for
Like,
RSL, it's like yeah, you can still wear your church pants, you can still wear your khakis. I mean, your cargo shorts are still gonna look good on each brand. You know what I mean? Like
right? But not with that
nah,
Houston
man.
horrendous atrocity.
Do you think the person that comes up with it is just like, what would the average Utah wear? Like, what's gonna match a guy taking his kid in a van to school? Like, what's gonna work?
Uh, yeah. And
Sorry for that.
the LA Galaxy went purple.
I saw
Chicago
that.
Fire went super plain. Like yeah. Montreal didn't even try, dude. Black
Or
and blue.
Adidas didn't try.
Woo!
All
Kind
right.
of like Philadelphia Union. It's their light blue, but maybe it's just because it says Thomas and that's my last name.
That's
But
not like
No
you, Tyler.
way. Not for you, man. That's
voltage
not
kit. It's got like lightning bolts on it and stuff. So anyway, there you go. There's my take.
All right.
Awesome.
Let's end this. Let's go home.
Let's do.
Let's
We've had
go.
enough. Thank you for listening. Oh, we forgot to smash that like button.
button.
Thank everybody that participated
Smash it.
in the giveaway. Thank you for following us on YouTube and wherever you get your your podcast and your social media. We really appreciate it. Like we said, we're committed to giving more video and other content this season. So please help us out.
Yeah.
See you next time.
See you next
Bye-bye.
time. Bye.